Hello, I'm Dr. Antonio Borello. Welcome to video number 8. In this video, I'm going to share the things that you can do to help your man fall deeply in love with you. Yes, these are the tips that trigger the love chemicals in your man's brain and have him thinking about you constantly and craving to spend as much time with you as possible. So you're going to use these tips when you are together, and it's going to get him practically addicted to you. Let me explain. When you're excited about a new person that you really like, it's an amazing feeling. You find yourself thinking about him a lot. You catch yourself daydreaming about the time that you spent together and replaying all the cute things that happened. And you imagine and visualize what the next date will be like. Or you simply wonder about him and what he's doing. And it keeps happening all day, every few minutes. You're reminded of him and you have a smile on your face. You're thinking about him, craving him, and can't wait until the next time you see or talk to him. It's almost like you have a natural addiction to him. And that's because of what happens to your brain when you're falling in love. See, romantic love is very much like a natural addiction. When we are in love with a person, we are chemically addicted to that person. In fact, falling in love has similar effects on the brain as cocaine does on the brains of a user. So when we are falling in love, we will experience the same types of cravings and yearning that an addict feels when they are addicted to a substance. Now, psychologists and behavioral scientists have studied the addiction process for decades, and we know a lot about how people become addicted. And the good news, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this information to make your man think about you, crave you, and become addicted to you. Now, these tips are powerful, but they're not magical. These tips aren't going to make an uninterested man suddenly addicted to you. But if he was initially attracted to you at some point, these tips will certainly pique his curiosity and get him thinking about you and craving you like never before. These tips are powerful because they facilitate the process of falling in love in two ways. First, these strategies help you to create the right relationship conditions or precursors that pave the way for a man to fall in love with you. Secondly, these tips are focused on replicating the changes in brain chemistry that happen to all men when they are in love. And when you use them simultaneously, your man is going to want you more and become more attached like never before. So without further ado, let's jump right into them. Now, there are 3 phases that we all experience when falling in love. The first is the attraction phase, followed by the infatuation phase, and finally the attachment phase. I'm going to talk about each phase separately and explain how you can encourage the process of falling in love in each one. And for each of the phases, I'm going to explain what you can do to pave the way for him psychologically and physiologically by provoking the natural release of key neurotransmitters and hormones. Let's start with the attraction phase and getting his juices flowing. The first hormone that you're going to want to trigger is adrenaline, also known as norepinephrine. You know that feeling you get when you're really attracted to someone or when you really like someone? Some people call it the butterflies. It's that nervous excitement, that jittery stomach, a racing heart. All that is caused by adrenaline. When you're attracted to someone, your body is releasing adrenaline just as it does during the fight or flight response. Chemically, it's the same response. If you fear for your life, your body prepares you to fight or to run away by releasing adrenaline. And adrenaline causes an increased heart rate, focused attention, and sweaty palms. It's that same wide-eyed electricity in your veins feeling that you get when you have the butterflies. And you can artificially trigger the fight or flight response by engaging in some adrenaline-producing activity with the person you like. And when you do that, the arousal he feels can get transferred to you and the level of attraction he feels towards you increases. In other words, when you trigger your fight or flight response by engaging in thrilling activities together, your adrenaline increases, your heart races, your palms get sweaty, and all those feelings cause what is known as a misattribution of attraction. The adrenaline high you both experience gets associated with the other person, and your feelings of attraction and excitement about your partner increase as a result. The second important neurotransmitter in this phase is dopamine because it plays an important role in attraction. The process goes like this. When you see a person you're attracted to, dopamine levels in your brain instantly increase because you've detected something desirable in your environment. That hit of dopamine makes you become instantly more focused and excited. Well, guess what happens if you're able to artificially provoke an increase in your level of dopamine in the presence of another person? Yes, you become more attracted and start to enjoy and desire that person as a result. So, how do you provoke your brain to release dopamine? Well, as it turns out, engaging in challenging and novel activities affects the brain in much the same way that drugs do. That is, they trigger your brain to release the neurotransmitter dopamine. And when that happens, you associate those great feelings to the people you are with. So if you find ways of engaging your man in novel, challenging, and exciting experiences with you, that will cause you both to have elevated dopamine levels, and you'll feel closer and more attracted as a result. Remember these three words: novel, challenging, and exciting activities. All of these new adventures will cause a surge in dopamine that will be associated with you, and that's a great thing. So what are some things that you could try? You could try dancing lessons together, or you could try taking a class together, or engaging in something that you both having to learn a new skill, taking a language skill together, or exploring new areas that neither of you have been to. Those novel and exciting and learning opportunities release dopamine, and it gets associated with you, and it causes you to bond more with him. Believe me, this works. Try this. Now, on the psychological side of things, you can pave the way for love by being playful, but always leave him wanting more. Simply put, you've got to be that person that he wants to be with the most. So keep things light and fun. You have to rock his world in a way that no one else can, and leave him wanting more, leave him craving more. And the only one who can satisfy that craving and that need is you. So you must create that dynamic, that feeling that he can't get anywhere else. Every time he thinks of you, he's going to be thinking about the fun things. He's going to associate you with everything fun. And that's super attractive. And put limits on the length of time you spend with him in the beginning. Pace yourself and always leave him wanting more time with you. Okay, let's talk about infatuation, the second phase. Infatuation is a profound feeling of desire and obsessively strong admiration for someone. It's marked by a sense of excitement and euphoria, and it's often accompanied by lust and a feeling of newness and deja vu at the same time. During the heart-pounding excitement of infatuation, your brain releases lots of phenylethylamine, or PEA. PEA functions like a natural amphetamine, which basically makes you really high in love. High levels of PEA promotes feelings of attraction, excitement, giddiness, and apprehension. So it makes sense that if you are able to raise a man's level of PEA in your present, he's more likely to become infatuated with you. Now, as it turns out, PEA levels can be raised by certain psychoactive drugs and maybe by eating large amounts of chocolate. The chocolate part is still up for debate, but you can always try it. Just make sure it's dark chocolate with the highest percentage of cocoa you can find. However, there's another surefire way to stimulate PEA, and that is by engaging in prolonged eye contact. That's because prolonged eye contact is a powerful stimulator of affection, and specifically PEA. I've talked about this in other videos, and you can look up studies about prolonged eye contact. But what you need to do is deliberately spend time gazing into his eyes. This isn't going to be difficult to do. You can even make a game out of it. Just remember, deliberate, close eye contact for 5 minutes. Try this. It's crazy how effective it is. Close, deliberate, sustained eye contact for 5 minutes will kickstart the production of PEA. Now, on the psychological side of things, it's very important to keep your standards high during the infatuation phase. Remember, it's your values and your expectation that sets the bar for your relationship. It sets your standards of what you expect and sets the bar for love. The way we love and value ourselves sets up the way in which we let other people love and value us or not. The problem that so many people have when they meet someone that they really like, they are often willing to compromise their standards in the early stages of dating. And when you do that, you are setting low parameters for him. When you compromise your standards, you are always going to get less than you need and less than you deserve. When you set the parameters low, you're letting him know it's okay to treat you poorly, and you'll still be right there. And when he knows that, then you lose value in his eyes, and he begins to believe that you aren't going anywhere. When he knows you're sticking around despite his bad behavior, then he has no fear of losing you. Then he knows that you are head over heels in love and obsessed with him. And when you reach that point, then half of his motivation and half of his desire and half of his drive and attraction is gone, and he no longer has to try so hard. So don't be afraid to disagree with him or call him out on bad behavior. If you see something, say something. Don't brush it under the rug, because when you do, you are allowing that behavior and it will only get worse. Remember, keep your standards and expectations high. Now, so far we've covered attraction and infatuation phases of passionate love. In the next video, we're going to talk about the active journal method and getting your man deeply attached during the third stage of romantic love. I'll see you in the next video.